Now for the moment you've all been waiting for. Ebera versus Gabara. Ow.
Gabara wins. My hero right
Hey, you
here.
know what? Freaking Jaguar has a problem with your conversation over here.
Oh, God. Yes, he does. Oh, God. You should do a review of that thing, Steve, so people can see.
Love me.
Oh, God. It's like
Love
mutated.
me. He needs to be like the new, like, Chucky. Just put a little knife in his hand, just...
Holy thing, that thing is hideous.
This thing has seen better days. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name is Arnes, and today we have a special guest with us here today, Steve.
We have Gabara and Ebera from my Christmas presents. But today we're going to go over our top 10 figures of 2015.
Second time.
Yeah, the first time the video got kind of fudged up. And we're going to zoom in a little bit more just so you guys can actually see the figures, and I don't feel like bringing the table forward anymore.
And he's really close to me.
How you doing? Okay, so for an honorable mention, this figure I reviewed in 2015. But after thinking about it, it came out in 2014, which was the NECA Alien Queen, which actually would have been really high on this list. But since it didn't come out in 2015, can't count it. Sorry.
Sad day.
But we're going to start this list off with an SH Monsters figure with at number 10, the SH Monsters Gamera 2. This is the 96 Gamera from Gamera 2 Advent of Legion.
Really?
Not sure why I wanted to say versus. This figure is awesome. He's super articulated. A lot of awesome details. Comes with a decent amount of accessories for this guy. And is actually my favorite Gamera that I own as of right now.
How many other gamers you got?
Let's see. I got the Revoltech. I got some Bandai vinyls. I do have an X Plus, but his tooth's kind of chipped.
Okay.
Because he decided to face plant. But I like me some articulated action figures. I think they did a great job on this. The only thing that really brings it down for me is I wish the chest gimmick was a little bit more solid. Because it kind of just flops around sometimes. It's really the only thing really keeping them down farther on this list for me. So for number 9, this figure actually was very impressive for me. Mainly because I never actually owned an SAS figure before this guy. And what I'm talking about is the Shinichi and Migi from Parasite the Maxim, done by SAS.
Migi.
But for this figure, really awesome detail work. Articulation is actually pretty insane on this guy, which is a very high note for this figure. It also comes with a ton of accessories, especially for the price. Because I think I picked this figure up for about $50, which for an anime figure is actually pretty reasonable. And it actually almost rivals the Figma line, in my opinion.
Almost.
I kind of wish it came with more face sculpts. That's pretty much my only real concern with it. And it's a little bit more manga inspired than I would like it to be. Because personally, I'm more of a fan of the anime, so I would have liked a little bit more anime accurate figure. But it still works really well for me.
Just one of those situations where where anime is better than a manga.
Yeah, but this figure is still stunning nonetheless. And even with it being more manga inspired, still don't have a problem with me actually picking up this toy. And it comes with Migis. Like what?
He's even articulated.
Yeah, even Migi's articulated. So this figure's just winning in general. Also, just want to point out, almost all these figures anyways, we do reviews for on our other channel, Super Important Reviews. We'll probably have some links in the description so you guys can check them out if you want a more in-depth look at what these figures actually come with and look like. Alright, so for number 8, we have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy Edition, Saba. Main reason why this guy is number 8 is because I don't really consider it a figure quite as much. But then again, you find it at Toys R Us in the toy aisle. Like, okay, it's considered a toy for me. But this thing is amazing. Also super detailed. Freaking heavy. Has a lot of die-cast parts. And it actually talks.
Take your sword. Take a move.
I'm waiting for the music to kick in.
Yeah, but no.
Aww.
And it even makes clangy sounds. You also extend the blade if you want it more compact for when you actually are holstering it for cosplaying. This thing is probably still my favorite Legacy line figure as of right now.
Really?
Yeah, this thing's really awesome. The only thing that's really holding it back on this list is it's not quite really a actual figure, so it's a little bit lower down, but still one of the more impressive things that come out in 2015. Alright, moving on to number 7, we have the NECA Pacificum Lando Tachi.
Why the land and not the flying?
Mainly because I think this guy just works better with all the Yegas, not just Hong Umbrella Gypsy Danger in particular, or just Gypsy Danger figures in general. Because with his normal stance and everything, looks awesome, and pretty much when you see them fighting with all the other Yegas, it was this version of the Kaiju, not the flying. That, I feel like if you have the flying, you kind of need this guy anyways to go along with it. Especially if you want it to work with all the other Jaegers, and if you want a clean version of the flying kaiju. Plus, this figure's sweet. Details are awesome. Has some really good articulation. Even comes with a loogie attachment if you really wanted it.
Gross.
Yeah, even has like a very nicely articulated tail. And it's one of the figures from their line that's closer rivals like a Monster Arts figure for me. In terms of just articulation and overall style.
Even his tail pinches.
Yeah, it's even on its own little hinge, so they move together. The only thing that was kind of sucky is just trying to get him into positions, because the way his legs are, I wish they were a little bit more articulated, so it'd be a little bit easier to move him around so you can actually stand on a shelf looking normal. But still really awesome and fun to play with. For number 6, we have Redel and G Stag from Big Bad Beetleborg / B Fighter. But these figures are some of the best I feel in the SH Figure Arts line for me. The details are awesome. They come with a crap ton of accessories, and they even come with accessories for another figure that came out previously with Blue Beats. And what's funny too is these guys cost just as much as Blue Beats. 2 of them.
Which is?
2 figures. $120 is what I got these guys for.
So 60
You know what I got Blue Beats for? $120. And these guys even come with their accessories for him. And even more accessories, so forth, because they actually come with the blade attachments for the guns. So for me, these guys are just winning in terms of value and everything they came with, and are some of the best in the line. At least for what I own, because I don't have a crap ton of Figure Arts figures, but these guys just stand far above and beyond those, even rivaling a lot of the Monster Arts and Ultraman figures. Next for number 5, we have another SH Monster Arts figure with the Mecha King Ghidorah. From the film Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from the Heisei series. I think it came out in 1991.
Did somebody cut his head off?
You haven't got there yet, so I'm not going to ruin why he's mechanical.
Somebody ruin it for me, hurry. Let me know in a comment below what happens.
But anyways, our awesome kaiju from the future here looks amazing. Details on him are fantastic. Really like the articulation on him. And he comes with a lot of accessories with the Dorats and his clamping accessories.
Hey, I got one of those guys. Wait a minute.
One of 3.
Here they are.
Yeah, the little Dorats.
Because I'm telling you, this thing just completes the whole, collection.
Yeah, sure. Not those terrifying things that I made fun of in the video. But I really like the details on him, and for me, he's actually an improvement over the King Ghidorah figure that came out prior to this guy. The only thing that's kind of...
guy?
Yeah. The only thing that's kind of scary is he has a decent amount of parts that are fairly easily breakable on him, and some stuff like the tubing here that's attached to the body you have to worry about. So he's definitely a little bit more scary than some of my other SH Monsters figures, but that's mainly just because of how detailed this figure is.
It looks like he's really got some good details on him.
Oh no, this thing is definitely one of the more standouts out of the line for me. Alright, so for number 4, some people might be surprised because I never reviewed this figure on super unimportant reviews, so this is the one you won't get a closer look of. But that's mainly because these kind of toys don't get quite as many views on our channel as, say, Godzilla and NECA action figures. So when this guy came out, there was other figures that came out at the same time, so he just kind of got looked over.
So you can still do a review of him if you want.
I could. I kind of still want to. Which this is the Hasbro Masterpiece Starscream. Which the original mold for this, which is done by Takara, came out actually a while ago. This is just another re-release of the figure. But I'm actually really happy they re-released this because the original one goes for around $200. Got this guy for $60 at Toys R Us. Actually, I paid for less because I had Toys R Us rewards, so he was a bit more like $40 for me.
Oh, that's not bad.
Which, initially, I heard some people complaining like the plastic quality isn't quite there compared to some of the original masterpieces. I can agree, but he's still actually a very nicely detailed action figure. Articulation's awesome, and he's still a masterpiece, so this figure is still far above and beyond most of the other Transformer figures we actually get released. And he's only, when he came out, was $20 more than your standard standard leader figure that was being released.
So he's not that bad at all then.
So, if I was going to compare him to the Megatron that came out, I'd say he's better. Alright, for the next figure, which is probably the one I'd probably get the most crap on this list, because there's definitely, I would argue, there's better looking figures on this list, but in terms of surprise factor, this is why I have him at number 3, which is the NECA 1954 Godzilla. He's 12 inches long, and I super love this figure.
But Steve, that's actually figures doing good on our channel.
I know, right? And even compared to him to a lot of the SH Monster Arts line, for $20, this guy's amazing. Like, granted, like the King Ghidorah definitely looks better, comes with a lot more stuff, also a lot more money. King Ghidorah runs when I got it. Mecha King Ghidorah was 125, I want to say.
Yeah,
is what I picked it up for. Beetleborgs, they ran 120. Definitely look better, come a lot more. Still $20 though.
but you know what kind of things you're gonna get for that, right? It's not a SH or X Plus. It's not a collectible, Steve.
And I'd say you can collect whatever you feel like. Which is why I generally like, for me, I like a lot of variety in my collection. This is why I pick up a lot of different toy lines other than just collecting X Pluses, collecting Monster Arts, collecting NECA, Trendmaster, Transformers. And for the line, especially with the other NECA Godzillas being just what I would say good overall. Like the 84 is a little bit of a disappointment. 94 and the Burning are just pretty good. But I would still, if they would release a Monsters version or already have one, like with the 94, I would just gonna buy that one. It's definitely the better figure. Like, I would rather have that on my shelf than the NECA version. This one, on the other hand, if they released a Monster Arts version, I think this guy still holds up very well compared next to it if they did it.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Like, I don't really see a reason for Monster Arts to really put one out now because this guy essentially looks really good and fairly close to the 54 suit. The only thing I wish he had a longer tail, but that's really my only complaint. And I'm a guy that loves me some Japanese toys, and this thing still holds up next to a lot of them. Speaking of Japanese toys, for number 2, we got the Good Smiles Ryuko, the Katsuragi version.
Man, I think it got some epic view from this side.
I know. I like I was to say, our view is a little bit better than your view. But, yeah, this figure, initially when we got it, I was kind of worried because, one, I really like articulated action figures, and I was worried about the size. When it got in, though, this figure is freaking huge. The details on this thing are gorgeous. Like, this figure is essentially almost perfect for me.
Almost.
Like, detail-wise, amazing. Wish the stand was a little bit more impressive overall. Still works with the figure, though, and to be honest, if the stand was more exciting, it would take away from the figure, which this should definitely be the focal point when you're looking at it.
I still haven't took mine out of the box. I have nowhere to put it at.
Yeah, that's the main reason. That's the main reason why it's out of my box, so I can actually fit on my shelf with other figures. And it's in the pose that I want, and there's really not a whole lot to really complain about for this thing. And that's mainly why it's number 2. It's because I still have one minor complaint, unlike our number 1. So, for our number 1 figure of 2015, which is also one of the newest figures that I have in my collection, but this guy definitely kind of just skated his way into the number 1 in my 2015 list, and actually just in toys in general in my collection, which is the X Plus 25 centimeter scale Destroyer.
It's huge.
This thing is huge. It's also kind of heavy and takes up a lot of the screen here. But this figure is stunning. The detail work on this is by far some of the best in the X Plus line for me, which I don't really own a whole lot of X Pluses, but the only one I would say is comparable is the 62.
Steve, you're kind of holding that.
I got it.
You sure?
I got it.
God, please don't let that fall.
But even like compared to my Monster Arts one, which I really love the Monster Arts Destroyer, not even close in my opinion.
Really?
Not even close. This is definitely the best Destroyer in my collection. And one of the best Godzilla figures in my collection. Just in general, even just Kaiju. There's not a whole lot to really rival him.
He stole your heart, didn't he?
Yes, this thing is stunning. I love Destroyer. Even with his shipping problems, still okay with it.
What shipping problems?
I had to reattach his wing when he came in, which is a common problem for this figure. I even heard of another reviewer's head popping off when he got it in, had to glue it back in. Should be a Diego Doom.
But how can this be your top, Steve? It's got no articulations.
Which is weird. Because I like my figures to actually be able to be posable, and I like to play with my figures on occasion. And I can't do that with this guy, because he's essentially just going to sit on my shelf and look pretty. I'm fine with that. That's all I need out of this guy.
Speechless, man. That thing is amazing overall.
Yeah, he's not even a super big fan of Godzilla. I pretty much make him watch these movies, and still... This figure is
If I had
stunning.
$400 to spend, I would get one.
It was like $350. Well worth it, though.
Okay, I give you that. He is worth it. He's huge.
He's huge. Freaking heavy. Like, holding out this guy, most of the other figures in my collection that kind of rival him in weight, I would say is either my Trendmaster 98 or the NECA knife head. It's also a stupid heavy figure. Or Metroplex. He's pretty heavy. And that is our top 10 figures of 2015. Can't wait for 2016 because there's some toys I'm actually really excited about coming out. Like there's Five Nights at Freddy's figures. There's more 30cm X Plus figures coming out. Especially Titanosaurus, who I have on pre-order.
You do?
Yes, I do. Kind of want to get Angerus. He comes out at the beginning of January, I think. Hopefully they'll have some more news of Monster Arts figures coming out, because with Shin Goji coming out, I'm hoping they're going to be releasing some new ones soon. Even just Shin Goji toys in general. NECA, we got the Mutavore coming out, Ultimate Eureka Striker action figure.
Oh, man.
More AVP Predator figures and aliens.
So this is going to cost us, huh?
Yeah, it's not looking pretty for my wallet. Not at all.
You said aliens and predators, you had me.
And Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, God. Don't forget that alien egg.
Oh, yeah, and the large one, which still got to get Arnes to pre-order that thing.
Yeah.
If he's going to.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to get like 2-3 of them. I just want to like decorate my basement, like the steps, you know?
Yeah.
Like as you walk, just get a fog machine and just be like 3-4 alien eggs.
Just take a ton of hot glue and just glue
Yeah.
everything all over the place.
It'd be
make it sticky.
amazing. Like, I got
that'd
some
be cool.
great ideas for this thing.
But what is your guys' favorite figure of 2015? Please let us know in the comment section below what your favorite toy was, and help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button.
Here, he's got it for you. Hitting that like button.
Subscribe and become a ranger today. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye bye.